All right, so today is July 25th and another rare occasion of the man behind the camera. I will tell you guys why I haven't filmed a video in a little while. I've been working on a little side project here, and we finally, after months of effort, managed to steal the neighbor's baby. And I'm just kidding. So yeah, we've been expecting for, whatever it is, 9 months, and she was finally born this week. And so I was out of the shop in the hospital all week to say hello to Victoria Sophia. Victoria S. We named our baby Victorious. So now here's the rest of kind of what I got done in the shop. I just want to let everybody see I'm a proud dad, first daughter, and for the plane. All right, so here's a bit of what I got done during the time I was able to make it in here. I got the propeller stuff all fitted up. I got this foam piece in here, so when I fit the cowling, it doesn't rub on my little disc here. So one trick with the fitting your propeller is the lugs will not, once they're slid into the propeller flange on the engine here, you can't get these long bolts. They're, I forgot the exact size of them, but they're pretty long, and they won't fit in through the holes once the lugs are fitted. So you have to remember to slide it all through as one piece while there's still a little bit of play in the lug, and pull the lug through actually with the bolt already there. I couldn't figure out another way to do it. I really don't think there is another way to do it because of the gearbox here. So yeah, everything's fitting up pretty nice with that. I got my cowlings all kind of fitted on and marked off. Something that Jean at Airplane Factory in Torrance told me, it's a pretty clever idea for trimming your cowlings, is mark off this edge exactly with some blue painter's tape. And when you get your cowling aligned exactly where you want it, align so now they're not really pretty anymore, but align the back edge here to the back edge here. And because of course it's the same width, you should get a nice pretty mark where to cut it here. I'm still gonna cut mine just very slightly to leave just very slight material. So I'll probably just cut off the edge of the tape and kind of sand it into place. I don't have enough confidence in myself to get it perfect, and that would be pretty tragic to have a big sweep in or something on the cowling. So I think that's about it with that. I'll start trimming that up first thing next week. I actually got that started, and the first day of being in the hospital, I got notification that my Canopy hinges finally arrived. So I've been waiting on them for 6.5 months, and they came on the first day that I was not going to be able to come into the shop for another week or so. So rather than trimming my canopy, I got to work on these hinges just because of my ADD kicking in, I guess. It does require, on this type of hinge, I know that this is the old model. Now they've basically reversed it, so the hinge has the two forks and the canopy itself has the center part. And it might be easier, but you see this one's not quite finished yet. It kind of rubs, and so trying to not take off too much material here, I'll have to kind of just file down a little bit of the material here because it hits, you see right there. So it's just a matter of really slowly getting it. I already got the other door fitted up smooth, so this is the full rotation of it. And yeah, just trying to make sure that the material thickness stays large enough on the door itself so that nothing just breaks through. And also, yeah, just kind of the trade-off between removing material on both of them. And then also kind of this one has a lot less, little bit of trimming out, and so there's a little void in the stuff and the composite there. I'll just fill that in. I got this one marked out for the holes where to drill them first thing next week. And yeah, so this one's a better example, just removing enough material so that the hinge fits in there nicely. And then I guess the next step is just going to be hoping that the hinges are on the same plane and they don't bind up. But so yeah, same thing over here. Just kind of grind it out enough so that the door has enough range of motion and the hinge fits in there nicely. I was really pushing to get this done today because it's a pretty quick, easy thing to have those doors attached, but it really doesn't have to get done today anyway. So something else I did last week was I got all the plumbing for my G5, and I relocated my GSU 25 Adahars unit to here. Originally, I was going to have it mounted to the back of the G3X on the pilot side because there's 4 mount bolts there. But then I decided that with the tubing required, it was going to be too hard to try to you know, either remove this from the back or whatever, because I went with what TAF provided for the tubing. One thing that I would definitely recommend for anybody out there building is to get the press fit tubing stuff. I don't think it's super expensive, but even if it is, the ability to kind of press everything in once it's in place would be great. So what I ended up deciding to do is I ran everything and left the long pigtails here and labeled them so that I'll have to get straight unions or straight couplers to connect it into the airframe there. I was trying to avoid that extra connection, but once the panel's in, you really can't work on anything in here. And so what I did was I got 1/4-inch barb fittings, which are way oversized. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but yeah, there you go. You have to heat them up, or heat the tubing up a lot to get it really soft, and then it slides on with, you know, moderate force. And then once it's on there, it's not coming off. I'm really confident that everything will seal up and last as long as it needs to last, and with no issues. But I think just for ease of assembly, that press connect stuff would have been a lot easier. So yeah, this stuff is coming along. It's coming together pretty good. Oh, and the other thing I did was I moved my GSU 25 to over here. So I just cut a new brace for my Avionics rack to just include this kind of mount position. And I figured out, let's see which angle is better to see it. I figured out the angle that the panel sits at so that GSU fits exactly level this way. It doesn't have to. It only has to be within like 30 degrees, but I mean, it doesn't take, you know, more than 10 extra minutes to figure that out if you're gonna cut the part yourself. So yeah, this is all ready to go. It's all ready to get installed. I kind of cut out a little bit more of the panel to fit everything in, including notching out a lot of space under both of the air vents, because you need to do that to get these, to make some room for the vent levers. So just some things to keep in mind. Of course, as long as you don't cut too far into that, it doesn't really matter because it won't show. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. The holes that are already in this little back cover plate for your center console are a weird size, 30 millimeters. It was not super easy to source these stupid things. I wish it was just 1 inch, but it is what it is. That's done now as well. I got a lot more of the upholstery stuff done. That's all coming together. The reason I didn't film a video, 2 weeks ago, was pretty much I got most of this stuff done in that week, because obviously this week I was not in the shop till today. But what was I saying? All right, back on track now with my focus. The center console stuff, I had it all assembled here, and I decided not to, well, I had it all disassembled just like this, and I didn't really want to assemble it just to have to disassemble it anyway, because it doesn't need to be assembled yet. I got the fuel selector all hooked up and ready to go. I did end up putting riv nuts in it before. I was planning on just kind of using some M4 bolts and putting a nut on the backside, but it was pretty tough to access, and this is pretty easy to do. I do wish I had done it while it's off the plane, but no big deal either way. I got the all the interior panels are, so there's riv nuts right here where it mates to the backside skin, but the rest is just riveted in on the front. There's no reason that it ever need to come out, and rivets, it's a lot less work and comes out looking really clean. So everything's nice and tight in there, and looking good. And the last thing that I got done was I got this front top skin is all riveted on and Sikaflexed up. So it doesn't say it specifically in the instructions to Sikaflex, to apply Sikaflex on the seams here, but maybe it's not necessary here because, you know, any water might drip down, but it just seems like a good idea to make sure everything stays nice and sealed. And especially, you know, if you're going at all and any kind of water wants to get through there. Of course, I'm not really going to be flying through any heavy rain, but anyway, can't hurt to have it there, and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to apply it. So yeah, it's coming together pretty good. I think next week should be a really fun week because this stuff is ready to cut. All I got to do is cut it. The door hinges are on and ready to be drilled out and installed, so that'll be pretty fun. And actually, I think, so I'm not sure yet whether it's going to be better to put the dash, the panel, and the windshield on and everything before paint. Might be easier because then I can just, you know, tape off the windshield and then everything's pretty well protected during the paint process. I know that it's probably better to paint it before you get this deep, but I couldn't really do that with the canopy hinges missing, and I had to keep building. So so yeah, it's looking good. I think that another thing that I did do was I trimmed, so this front up top skin comes back to maybe like that, and I trimmed it so it's just flush with this edge here, and it just allows it to sit in just far enough so that this is perfectly flush there. So rather than kind of pushing in on this to you know, to bend back here to allow the windshield to have a nice perfect flush mount, I think that trimming it and just allowing it to sit in there was the way to go. And it just sits here naturally. There is Sikaflex there, but I didn't have to like clamp it to glue it or anything, so it seems like a really natural way for it to sit. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the way everything's going, and I'll be back at it full time starting on Monday. So yeah, the other thing, I've got my wing light rib for my left wing, so that means, man, everything should just be able to come together quickly now. I mean, I always say that, but then whatever. So yeah, I think that's it. So have a good weekend, everybody.